This is Endowment Lecture session 2, where we have got four important and eminent scholars. The first Endowment Lecture, namely Swaminarayana Theistic Vedanta Lecture, will be presented by Professor J.M. Dave, Director, Swaminarayan Research Institute, New Delhi, which will be followed by our good friend Professor Dayakrishna's memorial lecture to be presented by Professor S.P. Gautam, former Vice Chancellor and Professor Emeritus at the Department of Philosophy, JNU, New Delhi. Then the third endowment lecture, entitled K.S. Murthy Memorial Lecture, which will be delivered by our good friend Professor Jadashankar Ji, Department of Philosophy, Allahabad University, Allahabad. And then fourth endowment lecture, this Holistic Science of Life and Living as revealed by Dada Bhagavan, will be delivered by Professor Nitin Vyas, former head Department of Philosophy, MS University, Baroda. As you know, we gave, the organizers gave 15 minutes for each presentation. And I request Professor Shikala Nair to chair the session. And this session was over by 11:30. And then, of course, we have tea.
Time. Let me initiate the proceedings of this Endowment Lecture Series 2. We have 4 speakers, and the time allotted us, it is almost 10:57. So we have 1.5 hours. So I suppose each speaker can take 20 minutes. And let me have the pleasure to invite Dr. J.M. Dave, Director of Swaminarayana Research Institute, the right person to speak on Swaminarayana Theistic Vedantic Lecture. Over to Professor Dave.
Friends, I wish to thank ICPR and Holistic Center for inviting me for this endowment lecture. And I'm so happy that I am in the company of stalwarts here. Professor Gautam is here, Professor Nitin Bhai Vyas is here, Professor Jatashankar Ji, with whom I have worked for years, they are all here. Friends, I would like to start my presentation with one of the most famous prayers, but which is very rarely, recited. It's a prayer of Dhruv to God when he got enlightened. Yovanta pravishya mama vachamimam prasuptam sanjeevayati akhil shakti dharasvadhamna anyausha hasta charana shravanatvagadin pranan namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. O God, who has entered into me and each and every limb of myself and make me speak here before you, I bow down to you. I am thankful to Professor S.R. Bhatt, Mr. Paneer Selvam, and other members of ICPR. Friends, in the year 2003, I had, an occasion to go to Heidelberg University to present my lecture. And there, after some discussion, 2-3 young Western scholars came to me and said, "Sir, let us know why Indian philosophers and scholars are always interested in the next world. Always you are talking about moksha. Why are you not talking about, the present world?" And I told them, "Sir, who told you all this? Where did you read this?" I said, "Sir, along with the Dharma Shastra or Smriti Shastra of Manu and Yagnavalkya, do you know that there is Artha Shastra of Kautilya? And the Artha Shastra of Kautilya is much better than Machiavelli's Prince. Please try to read it. Do you know that there is Kama Shastra of Vatsyayana, which is not only in the books? You go and see some of our temples in Khajuraho and you will realize the importance of Kama Shastra. And then there are Mukti Shastras. Indians never ever had a very limited subject as their ultimate subject. Indians had such a comprehensive view of the world that, friends, you will realize it is not, that at present we are talking. All of you know that for Prama or knowledge, pramana is required, and you have all kinds of pramana, pratyaksha pramana, anumana pramana, upamana pramana, but according to most of the scholar, it is Shabda Pramana which is most important, and the Shabda Pramana consists of Shruti Pramana. And friends, in the Rig Veda, there is a Nasadiya Sukta. I hope most of you know it, but those who have not heard about it, please read Nasadiya Sukta. There the Kavi says, was there some existence or there was no existence? He discusses it for some richa and they says, I don't know. Perhaps one who is there, perhaps he knows. And then he says, perhaps he even doesn't know. Can you think of a Kavi who is of the Rig Veda, whose Praman is Shruti Pramana, most important, and he says this, it is almost an agnostic view. And this is, accepted in the Rig Veda. We go further and we try to know how, there is not one limited way to get the highest achievement. Most of you must have heard the name of Mundaka Upanishad. And in Mundaka Upanishad, a great student, Shailyo Mahashalaha, he goes to his teacher, Angirasam, Vidivat Upasannaha Papracha, Kasminno Bhagavo Vignate Sarvamidam Vignatam Syat. By knowing which Vidya, everything becomes known. And friends, remember, this is a Shruti Upanishad. And what does the teacher say, Angiras? Dve vidye veditavye. Paracha aparacha. And in apara he describes everything. Rutved, Samved, Yajurved, Atharved, Shiksha, Kalpa, Vyakran, Nirukta, Chanda, Jyotish, everything. But that is all included in apara vidya, lower strata of knowledge. And then he says, but there is also paravidya. Para yada tad aksharam adhigamyate. And there is paravidya which will take you to the highest. So friends, there are both ways, You can go for aparavidya, you can go for paravidya, you decide. And friends, one more thing. Among the 10 most Upanishads on which Adi Shankaracharya has written his commentary, Ishakena, Kata, Prashna, Munda, Mandukya, Tittiri, Aitareya, Chandogya, Bruhadaranyaka. Bruhadaranyaka is the biggest. And it has lot of dialogues. And friends, one of the dialogue is put in the Princeton University's religion text, edited by Lopez. And in that particular book, Bruhadaranyaka, there is a dialogue between Yagnavalkya and Vaidagdha Shakalya. Vaidagdha Shakalya asks, Kati Devaha Yagnavalkiti? How many gods are there? Friends, listen, huh? How many gods are there? And Yagnavalkya says, 303 and 3003. 303 and 3003. That means 3306. And then again, Vaidagdha Shakalya says, no, sir, please tell us how many gods are there. He says 33. 33? No, sir. Please tell how many gods are there. 6. 6? No, sir, please. 3. 3? No, please tell the truth. 2. 2? No. 1.5. 1.5. No, sir, 1.5. 1. Taking this example, the author says, this is the approach of Indian philosophy. You may believe in 1 God, 2 gods, 3 gods, 6 gods, 33 gods, 303 or 3003. It is up to you. And this, totally democratic approach is best exemplified in Bhagavad Gita. Friends, I would like to quote from Bhagavad Gita because it is a book which I think most of you who are here, they must have read. They must have tried to understand either academically or out of love for that book. But that is a wonderful book. Please try to see, what is the situation. The situation is of war. In spite of all the efforts, it is not avoided. And when the war starts, in ancient India, you can't, go like Kargil all of a sudden. You can't. You have to announce properly that I want to fight. Are you ready? Then you fight. And in the evening or night, you can go to your enemy's camp. But there should be a proper announcement. And friends, on behalf of the Kaurava, who makes an announcement? Tasya sanjanam harsham kuru vruddha pitamaha simhanadam vinadya uchchaihi shankam dadmau pratapavan. He blew the shankha. He says, we are ready. Are you ready? Now friends, you tell me, when head of the Kaurava's army, he says that we are ready, who should give the response from Pandava? It should be, Dhritarashtra, it should be from Yudhishthira or Bhima or Arjuna or Drishtadyumna, whosoever is commander. No. Lord Krishna, who is a charioteer, he gives the answer. He gives a Bhagavan Krishna, he blows a shankha. Panchajanyam Rishikesho, Devadattam Dhananjaya, Poundam Dadmo Mahashankam, Bhima Karma Vrukodara. Please tell me, friends, if you are signing MOU with the bank, you as a owner or a partner or managing director will go and sign, or your peon or a driver or a charioteer or a chauffeur will go. Who will go? Krishna is not a charioteer, sir. He only acts as if, he is Sarthi. He knows everything. It is for Arjun that he has to play the role. And Arjun also, he gives an order as if he is the owner. Senayoho bhayoho madhye ratham stapayame achyutayavadetan nirikshayam yoddukaman avasthitan. Kaihi maya sa yoddhavyam asmin rana samudyame. Please take me where I have to fight. Lord takes him. And once he sees there, the Acharya who taught him, once he sees Bhishma Pitama, he says, I can't fight. And we should not fight. And what does he say? Aho mat mahat papam kartum vyavasitaha vayam. Rajya sukhalobat hantum swajanam udyataha. What kind of people are we? We are going to kill our own relatives, our near and dear ones. I don't want to fight. And friends, as a teacher with a holistic view, see what Lord Krishna says. He doesn't say anything in the first adhyaya at all. One thing is very clear, that Arjun has all the faith in Lord Krishna as a friend and philosopher. But in the beginning, he doesn't accept his advice. And Lord Krishna also doesn't give him order till the very end. Lord Krishna knows that every mind has a different view, different way to think. And therefore, he explains to him differently. He says, look, a person may be a man of knowledge, a person may be man of action, or a person may be emotional person. For a man who is a man of knowledge, he should be explained in a different way. A person who is a man of action should be explained the problem in a different way. And a man who is an emotional person should be explained in a different way. And friends, in all the adhyaya of Gnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Lord Krishna explains in different way. And Lord Krishna says, if you have any doubt, these are the ways. Whosoever is born is going to die. Whosoever. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu. Dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmada parihari arte natvam shochitum arasi. If you are a man of action, karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Ma phala karma heturbu mate sangostu akarmani. And if you are, have great love for me, man manabha, mad bhakto, mad yaji, mam namaskuru. Friend, all holistic, different ways are explained by Lord Krishna. But please remember, what does he say at the end? He doesn't give 10 commandments. He doesn't say, he says only one thing. Iti te gnanam akyatam guyyat guyyataram maya vimrushya etad asheshena yatha ichhasi tatha kuru. I gave you all different ways. Now do whatever you want to do. Who says? Lord Krishna, when in the war. This is the Indian tradition. And following this Indian tradition, Bhagavan Swaminarayan, who was born in 1781 and left the world in 1830, within the 49 years, he explained the importance of both Gnana Marga and Karma Marga. And in Gnana Marga, because, he was theistic, he believed in God as Sagun Sakar, Sarvopari, he says, look, if you want to have the moksha or this, you must accept that in this world, those people, in this world, those who are men of knowledge, they must understand that the God is Sagun Sakar Sarvopari. But then he added something which is absolutely, according to me, new in theology. And he says he is always pragat. He is always there in the form of a God-realized person, devotee. And if there is a God-realized person, he is the one who will work as a representative of God. So, there is a bhakti parampara. The Lord is always there, but when Lord has left his human form, he is represented by a God-realized self. And therefore we have Guru Parampara. And we say, Sampradaya Guru Kramaha. And then he says that if you want to know bhakti, then you have to have the bhakti with total dedication. And that bhakti he calls upasana. And that upasana is also the highest that a person can think of, because according to the Swaminarayan Theistic Vedanta, why does God come to earth as a God or as his representative? Because when you say that God is Sarva Shaktiman, he can give moksha while remaining in his own place. Whether that is Vaikuntha or whether that is Kailasa or whether that is Akshardham or whatever name you give. If he is Sarva Shaktiman, he can give me moksha. Why he comes on the earth? And then he says, God comes on this earth to give joy to his devotees and to get joy from them. And that's why he says that bhakti is the best. I will finish with only one instance. There is a wonderful example in the Bhagavad. Uddhavji was considered to the mind of God, and he had some pride that I am a great, devotee and a great gnani. So Lord Krishna says, do one thing. These gopis in the Vrindavan, are suffering a lot. You please go and tell them that God is everywhere. They should understand Sarvatra, Sarva Vyapak is there. He says, okay, I will go there. He goes there. He explains to the gopis that why are you suffering? Why are you crying? Why do you want to meet, Lord so intently? See, God is everywhere. And friends, the gopi gives reply. Please try to pay attention. Gopi said, sir, you are a great scholar. We are not great scholar. We just, sell milk. And we always think that we are missing Lord Krishna. But please remember, sir, when we die and when there is cremation ceremony, our dead bodies are burned, the bones will remain there, and from the bone, when the wind will goes, you will hear Krishna, 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 Krishna. And then Uddhav realized that this is Natvar, this is his way of explaining me that I have to reach to the level of Gopi. Vikretu kama kila gopa kanya murari pada arpita chitta vritti dadyadikam moha vashado chat govinda damodara madhaveti. Friends, Gopi is the best example according to Bhagavan Swaminarayan, and his theology continues because he says that God realized saint is always present on the earth. You have to find out, and that's why we say Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guruvena. Thank you.
Beautiful exposition. It was indeed a travelogue through the classical texts, and those who are initiated, any number of repetitions on the classical texts are indeed nectar to our ears. And he depicted Gita as a holistic science and then culminated his, wound up his talk exemplifying Swaminarayana, placing him in the Guru Krima. Thank you on behalf of IPC.